All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. Welcome to Some Random Guy Speaks. I am your host, Tony G, and we are about to get started. So, therefore, we're going to be talking about are you ready? Or I should say, um, regards to the title, right? Because once again, you guys already know, right? Are you ready? I'm going to say it again. Are you ready to see arrest? Are you ready? And I'm ready too. It's been long overdue, but I figure we can talk about it. We can talk about some other things as well. You don't have to be subject to this particular topic, but I found this topic to be of interest, because if someone is bringing out information that is factual, we're talking about Tulsi Gabbard, how she, um, you know, expose and explain what was going on behind the Russia hoax, the Russia, and all this other stuff. Because, we already know when criminals are guilty, what they tend to do is that they tend to um, project on the person that they are accusing. Because it's mighty funny that they happen to know all about this Russia thing, and that's what criminals do. Criminals project, ladies and gentlemen. We can go, I can bring up some examples and things, just like with the mortgage fraud, with Letitia James, she projected all this. She said that Trump was doing all this stuff, and it's just, she concocted the whole thing, because like I said, I'm pretty confident to say what I'm saying, though. This is all put together projection, So, especially with criminals, once again, that's what they do. They project onto other people, as far as the crimes that they have done. They are the ones that are breaking the law, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? So, if I'm going to project onto someone, if it's mortgage fraud is mortgage fraud, because here she is, she's a, attorney general, in New York, but you have a house in Virginia. How does that happen? So this is what we're talking about here. This is mortgage fraud. Like, we're just going to say, okay, I didn't know. She knew. She was well aware of what she's been doing. So I'm just using her as an example, Letitia James, and things like that. So these are allegations that have been, brought out regards to her. And there's a lot of other allegations as well. But it's mighty funny how she really, really know what as far as with Trump, what he's been doing. And Trump, there's nothing there. Everything can be explained because there was no hush money files. We're talking about Stormy Daniels. She didn't get paid off. Trump didn't pay her off. She didn't get paid off. So I'm just kind of bringing up some things, but people with Trump derangement syndrome, they're going to try to fix a narrative because when you hate someone and things like that, that's what they typically tend to do. But going back on the arrest part, there's like a whole list of names that's been, let's say, accused, of wrongdoing, and we're really talking treason, because this is what this is. This is not no mortgage issue here that I'm talking about right now. This is something far more serious than mortgage fraud. This one here can get you in the depth in, let's say, lethal injection. You know what I'm saying? This is what we call death. Now, I said before in regards to, what was it? 18. So it's the 18 U.S. code, right? You guys should probably know that by now, right? Mm-hmm. According to the U.S. Code 2381, it defines treason as an act by someone owing allegiance, right, to the U.S. who levies war against them or gives aid and comfort to other enemies. So let's stop right there, right? So we were to back this thing up. It says 18 U.S. Code 2381 defines treason as an act by someone owing allegiance. So when we're starting to hear a lot of the enemies, the people, right, that's aligning themselves, let's say, with the enemies, the people of other countries, and as well as terrorists, criminals, this is what this is. Foreign or domestic, remember, if you're aligning yourself with cartel, MS-13, True Day Alagra, this is what we're talking about right here, right? Someone owing allegiance to the U.S., whoever levies war against them. So here it is. They're owing allegiance to us, but they're levying wars against us at the same time. Gives aid and comfort to their enemies, right? To give aid and comfort to their enemies. Right there. To give aid and comfort to their enemies. Right? Levying war. We're talking about taking up arms against the United States or preventing it from carrying out its lawful function. Remember, foreign and domestic. Isn't that what's happening right now? If we start to think about it, right? This is exactly what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. Right? This is what is happening right now. This is what we're dealing with here. There's much more, but I just wanted to harp on parts of this thing here because this is what's going on. Adhering to enemies, which means giving aid and comfort to an enemy of the United States, right? Such as providing them with money or sensitive information. Isn't that what John Bolton, didn't they accuse him for doing this stuff? There's a list of other people too. But I'm just kind of walking it down here and talking about this stuff because this is exactly what's going on. Right? So, as a study further going down the list here, and like I said, if this topic gets pretty cold, like I believe, because it pretty much have gotten cold though, because I could talk about other stuff too. But this is very, very important. We're talking about treason, sedition, subversive activities, right? This is what this is all about, what we're talking about here. This is the thing right here that we're talking about. Now, like I said before, we haven't seen arrests yet because we're still in the early stages, unfortunately. I really like to see those arrests myself. However, we have to allow the land of the law to run its course. To be able to bring these people to justice that has been committed of treason and things. So treason has a very, very high penalty, and most of the time it usually ends in death or life in prison. For committing crimes against the United States. Because the thing about it is that when we vote these people into office, their job is to do what? Carry out what the American people, because they are the representation, they represent the American people. The American people are the government. And then we have people that represent the government. But if the people that are representing the government they're not doing a very good job, they're kind of going rogue. And we have a lot of people that are in government right now that have went rogue. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about a renegade, someone that breaks away, someone that, breaks away or does the opposite. They don't adhere to the American people anymore. This is why the Constitution defines treason in particular, So, like I said before, we have basically what the Constitution defines treason as a nearly to to prevent it from being used or criminalized in political dissent. And this is where we are right now. You know, right? The crime must consist of one of these two specific, right, actions, right? So these particular crimes that we're talking about here, and this is serious, ladies and gentlemen. This is not made up stuff. This stuff is very, very serious. Because these people, they were, again, representing the American people. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Yeah, so yeah, I know it's kind of late, man. I started really late. I could have did this earlier, but you know, I said to myself, the show must go on. A couple people popped in, and things like that. So, because it'd be nice to see some arrests, you know, but we haven't gotten there yet. But I just want to share a little bit with you guys, though. I'm gonna kind of hang out here a little bit longer, and if I don't get any other people joining on to the live, then I'm just gonna go ahead on and end it for tonight. And I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get on here in the morning, and things like that. But yeah. In fact, I think I may do something else here. Yeah, got an idea. Because this particular topic right here, yeah, you know what? Let me do this here. Hold on for a minute. All right, let's go ahead and change this here. I got to do something. I'm going to change something up because, yeah, this topic is a little slow here. All right, hold on for one moment. All right, not that one. Deep state. No, I don't want to talk about that stuff. I want to do something a little different. Yeah, hold on for one moment. No, I already did the MAGA's winning. I already did that. Did a few of those. We're going to talk about something a little bit different here. And that's what we're going to do. Yeah. There's a Memorial Day. That's already passed. Let me see here. Glad to be an American. I guess I could run that back again. Yeah, glad to be an American. Here we go. All right. Let's go ahead and change that up to be an American. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do, let me see here. Let's see here. Discussing about. Let me see here. Glad. Let me see here about how we are. We're discussing about how we are glad to be an American. Which we should, because we have a lot to be thankful for being an American. That's the thing about that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and change this up a little bit. Okay, stream for later. Move YouTube. Let's see, glad to be an American. The stream must schedule for the future. Yeah, so it won't let me change on the fly. However, yeah, I'm trying to do a change here, ladies and gentlemen, tonight. because it seemed like the other topic that we've been talking about is stale, you know. So it's just one of those things. So let me see if it allowed me to change. If not, then yeah, it's all good. Let me take a look at some and check something else out here for a minute. Let me see here. Yeah, I don't think it allowed me to change it, but I may have to go ahead and stop it and then redo it again. Yeah, I may have to just go ahead on and do that. Yeah, I may have to go ahead on and do that. So I don't see it. Let's see here. Nope, still putting that out. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop this live, ladies and gentlemen, because it seemed like we are dead as a doorknob. All right.